What's up there, comeback conquerors? So I wanted to give you a weekly update on where we are at and where I want to see us go. Okay, so where we're at after week one, the score, Raw Fitness 691, average score per person. Sperling is at 654. So we boast a little bit of a lead right now. Well done. The celebrating phase has just ended, right, though, with those claps, because we're going to celebrate at the end when we make it where we really want to go. Now, I know Doug Sperling, and I know he's a smart, crafty, competitive guy, and I know they're going to find innovative ways of upping the dosage of what they've been doing. So I want us to be on guard, and I want us to finish strong. So here's what's happening, right? I want us to do this like we are going to have to be a great team. A great team, right? So I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to ask you some questions about what goes into making a team great, because I want to see if we all value the same thing. Because if we value the same thing, then we can all work towards it together, and it's going to be a beautiful, synergistic, victorious experience, right? So great teams. Question number one is, are they more external outcome focused or internal process focused? Let me explain that to you. When I say external outcome focused, where it's just like, oh my gosh, we don't have enough effort points, they're ahead, we got to get more effort points, go. Get effort points, right? So that's just like external, like, oh, how do I get this end game thing? Or do you think successful teams are more internal and process focused, where they're like, hey, let's make sure that we're giving ourselves a high level of accountability, a high level of challenging ourselves, pushing outside of our comfort zone, make sure we're getting good quality workouts, fueling ourselves with nutrition, resting so that we can get, you know what I'm saying? Are they more into the, here's the number we got to get, or are they able to dial it down? Are they able to look more at the processes that lead to the outcome? So most of you probably already seeing that I'm leading us towards the latter. So we're going to be internal motivation and process focused, but we're going to measure the effectiveness of those things by the outcome, by the effort points. Follow me on this, right? So in order to win, and this is one of my favorite expressions in the gym in general, is in order for us to win, we have to become the kind of team that is capable of winning, right? We have to have the characteristics that will get us there. It doesn't just happen because we win, right? So here's what goes into great teams, and here's my questions, right? And I want you to be answering these in your head as you're watching this video. Question number one is, do you think great teams is full of just driven individuals, or do you think great teams typically have a collective group that's working towards a common good? What do you think makes stronger teams? Driven individuals, collective group working towards a common good, okay? Cool. Question number two is, do you think that great teams always do what's comfortable for them, or do you think that they are willing to get stretched in order to get where they need to go, right? Is that something that they accept and move towards, right? So that's question number two. Question number three, now these are actually high levels or low levels. So do you think that great teams rank high or low on these particular aspects? Do you think great teams have high levels of communication? Right? Like kind of what I'm doing with you right now, right? We're talking, we're having a conversation through a video. I'm getting ideas across to you, right? There's ways you can connect on the MyZone app and talk to each other. We can talk on the Facebook group, high levels of communication, right? So next one, do you think that great teams have high levels or low levels of accountability? Do you think accountability is held high, or do you think people, just kind of whatever, right? So the next one is, do you think they have high levels or low levels of encouragement, right? Do you think the top performing teams have high levels of encouragement? There's a lot of encouraging going on to reinforce things that are going right, right? Do you think that great teams have a high level or a low level of personal ownership of things? And this is different than the accountability in the way that accountability is like me, I hold you responsible, you know, that you say you're going to get a certain amount of effort points and I check in on you, right? That's just a simple, here's accountability. Personal ownership is when the team loses, I think it's my fault, right? Like I literally say that, like if you guys lose, it's on Mike Monefusco, right? That's what I mean by personal ownership. And if you're with me on this one, then I actually want you to put down in the comments box of this video right below, I want you to write down, if we lose, it's because of me, right? Pause the video, go down there, type it in. If we lose, it's because of me. And then I know that you are with us, right? Do you think that high-performing teams have one high-level authoritative leader, right? Or do you think that great teams have a diversity of peer leaders who influence people? They have a high level of personal influence, even though they may not have a position of authority. What do you think? What do you think, right? So obviously all of these questions are kind of semi-rhetorical in the sense that I'm pretty sure that you and I had the same answer on every one of those. But we got to flush those out, and we got to see if we want to go there, we have to become the kind of team that excels in all that stuff. So here's what we're doing for week 2 through the end of the challenge to get us there. 3 actionable items. Action number 1 is that we're going to have processed and character-based communication. So myself and the other comeback coaches and you, if you want to take ownership and you want to make a video for us, we are going to have videos that are going to be shorter than this one. This is like the big overview. Shorter than this one that's just kind of like, boom, here's this concept. Here's getting outside your comfort zone. Here's this, here's that kind of thing, right? So, and we want you guys to engage and communicate with them. So we'll email blast them to everyone in the challenge. We'll put them in the Facebook group, and we'll make sure that you guys are getting that stuff. So high levels of communication, right? Boom. Number 2 is that we're enrolling, here's the big one, we're going to enroll a buddy system. So we're basically breaking you guys into 2 groups after week 1. We have the pace setters, so that is the top 50% of the field, and we have comebackers, that is the bottom 50% of the field. There is a way to request a connection through the MyZone app. If you go through connections, you can literally type someone's name in and connect with them, or you can go to the challenges where all the competitors are, and you can click on everyone at Raw Fitness and say send connection request. Then the connection requests all go to your inbox. So if you hit the MyZone logo, so the main menu comes up at the bottom, there's a little envelope icon that says inbox. If you click on those, you accept those connections, we can all be connected to each other. Pretty cool, right? But we're going to match one pace setter with one comebacker, and then we're going to send in an email to the pace setters. We're going to give them, because they're the ones that are leading the charge, we're going to give them actually instructions on how to start engagement so you guys can kind of like confer back and forth with each other, and we can up the level of accountability and encouragement and get more out of everyone, right? And then the third thing is you want to ask yourselves, how else can you lead? Are you the most encouraging in class? Are you commenting on stuff in the Facebook group? Are you praising people when they have like a big workout and they crushed it or whatever? Like, what are you doing as part of our peer personal influence leadership tribe that we all need to be successful to get us where we need to go? So look, I know it's kind of a long video, but this is the big envisioning video. We have a lead. Let's not take our foot off their throats. Let's push harder on them. Let's win the money for charity. Let's win this as a gym. Let's get really great fitness results in the process. Thanks for listening, guys.